Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to the Gospel. Let me keep it real with the hard truth. It's you by the title. What kind of system is this? You know, I had come across a news story. I mean, a couple of weeks ago. It's about a elderly man. He he received a bill, received a notice for $18,000 in back child support. I want to say his name was James Jennings. And this story is just it's kind of maybe 8 years old or something like that. But his he was on the hook to pay $18,000 in back child support. And the interesting thing to me is that his daughter was murdered back in 1981, and his daughter was only 3 years old when she was murdered. And at that time, it had been around 30 some years later, he's charged with you have to pay 18,000 in back child support for a child that's no longer living. Now, can somebody help me make sense of all this? So he was getting money coming out of his Social Security check in back child support for his daughter that was murdered, I believe by her, I believe by her stepfather, if I'm not mistaken, when she was 3 years old. So can somebody please explain to me how can this man still be on the hook to pay child support for a child that is no longer living? So you cannot tell me that this child support is solely for the child. I've always thought, you know, yes, the child need to be supported by both mother and the father. I always felt that, whoever paying the child support, they ought I figured it ought to be automated, just to have a breakdown of what the money is being used for. But that may be a bit overreaching. That just might be so overreaching. That's just asking just a little bit too much. That may be crossing the line. But what do you call this? A man still have to pay child support for a daughter that's been dead during this time over 30 plus years. Now they figured out, government figured out, she no longer living. So they stopped taking out the child support payment out of this man's social security check. But a question I have, okay, did they reimburse him? Did they refund him for the payments that came out? I don't know. I doubt they did. Now they figured out their mistake. Okay, well, they stopped taking out those payments out of his check. But they determined that he still owed child support for the time that she was living, for the 3 years that she was living. So he owed about $2,000 in child support for the 3 years his daughter was on earth. And I have a question. I want to know, where's that money going? The child can benefit from now. You're getting 30 something years after the fact. So where's this money going? So people that's advocating for child support, don't get me wrong. Yes, you have to support your child. I'm all for that. I'm not trying to make no excuses, trying to find no excuses for someone not to support their child. And there's other means of supporting a child, not just financially, which is that is a very important to support your child financially. But so something about this is all wrong. It's just there's some it seems like be some wickedness going on. It's beyond corrupt. It's just some cold blooded, heartless stuff here to put a man on the hook for child support for a child during this time that been deceased for 30 something years. So my question is, where's the money going? It's not going to his daughter. His daughter been dead for over 30 years. So is child support really for the child? Are you trying to stick it to someone? That's something that's something to think about, folks. His daughter, whose name was Tanya Hogan, murdered at 3 years old. He's on the hook for child support. Where all this money going? Is it going to the government? The child should have not benefit from it. So, what kind of system are we in? What kind of system is this that allows such thing to happen? Can anybody tell me? Email address is info@therawspill.com. That's info@therawspill.com. Hey, I don't know it all, but something about this seems mighty fishy. Even for us, say it's wicked. And the government they determined that he owes what $2,000 for the years that she was alive. Okay, she's not going to benefit from it. So what y'all going to do with this $2,000? She's not going to benefit from it. Where's that money going? Or how about the money that was taken out of Social Security for the back child support? Is part of that going towards the $2,000 that's still owed? I'm just curious, y'all. Just asking questions. I don't know it all, but it seems like there ought to be some kind of system in place for this, whereby, okay, if your child is deceased and you're paying child support, then I think the child support payments ought to be stopping. But so that should let you know there is there got to be some kind of another hidden agenda there. And I come across another situation, I think from Lionel Campbell. son passed away back in 1988. Okay, this all went down in 2013. He had to travel. He traveled to Michigan with the death certificate, proving that his son is deceased. And he was still making payments. I was reading like 25 years after the passing of his son. So y'all, this is so. How in the world can you say the child support payment is actually for the child when there's no child to receive these payments? And the payment that Mr. Campbell was making seemed like neither the son nor the mother was getting these payments. And and I think they broke it down. I think he owed like 6,400. Yeah, $6,460.08. Okay, who was again? I'm asking the question: who was getting that money? The son is not around to receive that amount. Don't know what come up from mother, but see, neither the son nor the mother is receiving those payments. So so I have to make you wonder. So what kind of system is this where you can still collect child support payment for a child that's no longer living? And they say these two cases, I don't know, let's just say they was active in their child's life. Now that's something they have to deal with. It's bad enough having to deal with the death of your child, not being able to see them become an adult, possibly have a family of their own, producing grandchildren, and just see them grow up. You don't have that opportunity anymore. Then on top of that, you can hit with back child support. What can you do about it? Does God intervene some kind of way on your behalf? Come across another story. This man is in prison now. His name David Shane. He's ordered to pay 55% of his prison wage to catch up on his child support responsibilities. Now his daughter died in a his daughter died in a house fire in Kentucky. And she was only 18. And some kind of way that he had to pay 55% and now of his hourly income, which was 95 cents an hour. So we had to pay 55% of that. It comes out to over a little bit over 52 cents. So it's over half his pay. Now you're only making 95 cents per hour while he's in prison. And another man, maybe, like I said, I don't know, maybe he had a bond with his daughter. He got to live with the fact that his daughter is no longer alive. He's in prison. They're taking 55% of his income to pay child support for a child that's no longer living. So can anybody out there, maybe you leave it in the legal system? I know you know way more than I do, but how in the world can we justify people paying on the hook to make child support payments when the child is deceased, where a child has been murdered at the age of 3 years old? You have a child that's died in a house fire. You have another where the son passed away in the late 80s, and the man was still paying child support. So, is there anybody that can explain that to me? Now I like to hear the stories whereby the mother and the father can work together outside of the court system. Some are able to figure things out amongst themselves without going to court, without putting the man or the woman, not forcing them to pay child support. They just come together. Hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I'll help you out here. I'll pay this. I'll take care of this. I'll visit. I'll get custody of my son or daughter, whatever, during this day, that day. That seems to work out for some people, and that's pretty rare. But um, that's rare. But I'm glad to hear about those situations. Matter of fact, I got a situation where they handle their business outside the court, and if you can do that, I encourage you to go that way as if it's possible. But then again, folks, I'm just asking the question: what kind of system is this, where a parent has to deal with the death of a child? Again, the child is, I'm talking about maybe in some instances, at least two decades they've been deceased, and still their parent is on the hook for child support payments. And again, I'm not trying to find a way to say that the parent don't have to support their child. I'm not saying that at all. It just seemed kind of wicked. It just seemed to be like a wicked system here to keep you on the hook for a child that's no longer living, for a child that's been deceased 20 or 30 years, and you're accumulating fees and penalties. So, if anybody out there can tell me why. And I know even sometimes the rich people make millions and millions each year. Sometimes they have to pay some as some have to pay like sometimes 35,000 a month in child support. People say, well, they can afford it. But sometimes I sit Just sit back and think about it. If that child was in that man's custody or whoever's paying that child support, will does it really take 35,000 a month to raise a child? Yes, I know it's expensive, and just saying that he can afford it, that's not a good enough reason. I mean, 35,000 a month, because you a rock star, movie star, a millionaire, whatever. Does it really take that much to support a child? And I tell you, just forget about the rich right now. How about the regular regular worker, the common man? Sometimes they might get a 5 cent increase, 5 cent, 50 cent, $2 an hour increase, and man, and sometimes it's well, majority of the time it is man paying the child for it. If they get a man get a little a bump in income, they gotta go to the courthouse. Oh, you know, made a little extra money now. Now they got to bump up that payment. Oh, you know, he's making 17 an hour now. He was making 15, now he's making 17. We had to bump that child support payment up now. And I always wonder, can somebody, itemize, hey, I'm okay, a man paying what, 25, 3,500 a month, or however, some guys pay 500 a month or whatever. So, can we figure out where's this money actually going to? Is it actually going to the child? Unlike these three cases I just mentioned, paying paying child support when the child is no longer living. So where's that money going? I'm sure none of these men got refunds for what they paid so far, but that just got this has to show you that it's just a corrupt system. Yeah, I would say wicked. There's just some wickedness going on, and I'm sure they depends on who it is. They probably don't have no remorse. They seen all the years. He been paying child support for 20 some years, and I don't know if they even give him a letter of apology or anything like that. Now I don't know, but it is something. Now even was reading too. I guess in some states that even if it's the parent that's paying child support, if they pass away, some kind of way they're still on the hook to pay child support. I guess from their state, I don't know how they pull that up, but let's just say the man of the father was paying child support, and all of a sudden he passed away unexpectedly. In some kind of way, somehow, some way, that parent is still on the hook for child support payment. How does that how is that even possible? I when I say that's just a little bit above me. I guess it's a little bit above my pay grade. You have a deceased parent. I guess some kind of way they state that. How do you go get that money? Parent dead and gone, still on the hook to pay child support. The mother or father is deceased, but yet and still they're on the hook to pay child support. Where they gonna get that money from? When they go dig into their savings and checking their retirement, stocks and bonds, whatever. In some states they're still on the hook. So so can y'all tell me what kind of system is this? What 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 kind of system allows this to happen? It's just amazing. By now, are there no lawmakers considering it across the board? Hey, if anybody ever thought that hey, we should do something if a, a child died, why are the parents still making child support payments? Maybe we need to pass some kind of legislation to end that. Has nobody thought about that? I'm sure they probably have. Yeah, I thought probably just went out the window. They got to make that money. So, again, y'all tell me where this money going. Is it, since it's not going to the child, it got to be going back to the government. Or unless anybody else could um, tell me otherwise. So, again, y'all, that's the question. What kind of system? What kind of system is this? That, let's just say these parents are like again, they could be grieving parents. We can have grieving parents. They get a chance to really know their child, and the child never become an adult. They have to live with that. Not only live with that, but worry about back child support. Help me make sense of this. Just asking y'all, what kind of system is this? What kind of system is it? And another question I have here, what age is a minor? Just switch things up a little bit. What age is a what is considered a minor? I know we done seen the many stories in the news, in news reports where teachers are speaking where speaking with their students, some 14, 15 years old, mainly mainly the women teachers, who are with their male students. It's just some maybe 14, 15 years old or so. And I'm not saying that the male teachers don't mess with the female um, students, but the female students, but you hear more of the female teachers being involved with their male um, teenage boys, you know, 14, 15, 16, something like that. Yeah, it always amazes me how in those situations they are considered minors when they're involved in relationship with a teacher. And let's not play naive. Not that some of these students know I mean, if you work carefully, they're not all forced to sleep with them teachers. If we could be real about it, so they're not 100% innocent. It's just the thing that in certain cases like this here, you just have an adult teacher fooling with a students under 18. Then now they're considered minor, but you get but you get a minor that goes out to commit a crime, and they say murder. All of a sudden, they are considered an adult. They go on a killing spree or whatever. They breaking in cars, stealing cars, robbing folks. We got to. They must be tried as an adult. But when they are involved romantically, let's say, for example, with a teacher, they're minors. I mean, can we just pick one and stay with it? They're minors in this situation. They're victims. Because when they're and like I said, some of them are not forced to fool around with their teacher. Not all of them are not forced. And I know that's how the news media like to present it. They said, yeah, the teacher a little bit is older and all that good stuff. Yeah, a lot of time it is not by force. But even though they're willing participants, they're still considered rape. They're still considered minors. But when it comes down to these heavy crimes like murder or assault, robbery, things of that nature, all of a sudden they look at as an adult now. They look at it as grown. Same age, 14, 15, 16, doing big boy crime. You got to try them as an adult now. I'm just, it's just, you know, what age is a minor? They're a minor in certain situations. Other situations, they're an adult. Kind of, kind of hypocritical way of doing things, I would say. Or can we just say, they either an adult or the minor? Just throwing it out there. And you know by now, this broadcast kind of go against the grain on certain things. Just like to come out with truth. Just some of the things that's spoken about on this broadcast. I know it's not necessarily the most popular thing, what the majority of people think. So I don't always um, just like with the child support issue, it's not um, like I said. Sometimes some topics that's mentioned on this broadcast, it just goes against. Sometimes it just goes against the grain. That's just the way it is. But you can't. But tell me what have I said so far that is false? Tell me what's okay about making child support payments to a child that's been deceased for at least 2 decades. Tell me what's okay about a teacher laying with a 15, 16-year-old. They're treated as a minor. But when they commit one of these big heavy crimes, all of a sudden they're an adult. So what kind of system do we have going here? I'm just something to think about, folks. Just hoping that this podcast gives you something, what to just give you, I guess, a different perspective to view some things. Um, just like I said before, some things that's mentioned on this broadcast doesn't go along with what everybody else feels. But I'm just bringing hard truth. That's it. And again, I'm just asking the question, y'all. What kind of system is this? It just seems like common sense doesn't exist in this country. It just seems like, well, no, nobody really, not too many people care about common sense. Not too many people care about the truth. Because if Mr. Jennings would have been paying, he wanna he won't continue to be paying child support for a child that's not going to benefit from the money. Same thing with Mr. Campbell. Same thing with Mr. Shane. So, so folks, this is I don't know this how any other way to put this, but it just it's a lot of wickedness out there. Seems like a lot of wicked people is running this thing. And again, like I said before, it's beyond corruption. I don't think corruption describe what's happening here. Again, info at rawskill.com. Somebody just please let me know how can this be justified? Mainly this child support thing, whereby whereby you have to pay child support for your children that's no longer alive. And how in the world can a deceased parent still be on the hook for child support payment? And I guess just in some states that's going on now. So I don't know what to tell you folks. We're just living in some interesting times. Um, yes, and I again, folks, as in every other broadcast, I hope you got something out of it. Know at least view things just a little bit differently. Hope your eyes open to some, just hope your eyes have become open to some of the things that's going around. So this is, y'all, this is, that's some really concerning stuff to see how often this really happens. See how often, you know, parents are on the hook. They got to deal with the tragic of their child no longer on this earth. And then to top that off with making child support payments for somebody that's no longer here. And that's, I don't know, tell y'all, man, that's, don't want to sound like a broken record, but that's something to think about. You know, well, maybe women out there, oh, my baby father only pays $20 a week. That's nothing. Well, okay, I get on that, but that's not the focal point. I'm just focusing on and just putting more emphasis on, child support payment coming out for children that's no longer alive. Even 20 years after the death, and it's still you still on the look for it. Man, you got some. Hey, what the Bible says we got to pray for those that have rule over us. So we got to pray for these leaders, like the Bible tell us to do. So, y'all, that's the only way. I mean, that's the only way to make it. So again, folks, I just hope you got something out of this. At least make you think about something. At least see it from a different angle, and just hope your eyes had come open. And again, y'all, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Raw Spill. However you're watching it, however you may be listening or watching. Again, folks, I thank y'all for taking the time out to be a part of the broadcast. And don't forget to subscribe for more broadcasts in the future. Again, y'all, thank you for tuning in to the Raw Spill. And